Are you familiar with the Avengers?
I am.
Are you familiar with Loki, god of evil?
I am.
Well, how do you think you would stack up against Loki? Clare Kramer, I have been wanting to interview you for the past 5 minutes or so.
Oh, Stan, I'm so flattered. Thank you so much.
How nice of you to come here.
It's my pleasure.
And how can a gorgeous creature like you play a villainess?
You know, it's not that hard, Stan.
For those who don't know it, of course, Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
That's true, that's true. And I played Glorificus, who was a god on the show, and she was definitely Buffy's adversary. She, in season 5, came in, and at the start of the season, you didn't really know what she was up to. You just kind of knew she was displaced, if you will. And throughout the season, you realized she was trying to basically get back to her home. She had to open a porthole and go back to her own realm. And Buffy's sister Dawn was the key that she needed hidden in human form.
And speaking of being a god or a goddess,
yes,
you have a camera following you around. Come in here. Oh,
Here we go.
Do you randomly walk around with cameras?
She goes nowhere without her camera.
It's not true. Well, it is true in this situation, but we're actually shooting a little behind the scenes for Geek Nation today, so it's really exciting.
Are you familiar with the Avengers?
I am.
Are you familiar with Loki, god of evil?
I am.
Well, how do you think you would stack up against Loki?
Well,
is that a good one?
That is a good one.
You were worried about what we would say to her?
was
This will
worried.
keep us going for 2 or 3 minutes.
Well, Stan, first of all, let me propose a toast to your geniusness.
I
And
love
yes, I love Loki, but I do feel that Glory would be a worthy opponent, and perhaps they wouldn't battle each other. Perhaps they could battle together against other forces.
No one would win.
When you played your villainess, did you have any villainous costume?
Well,
Any horns or anything?
I mean, it's appropriate that we have a red drink today because Glory's color was red, and she had sort of a signature red dress.
The important thing, if you're a villain or a villainess, you have to have a trademark, a signature, whether it's horns on your head or a red dress, but there has to be something, because they think the audiences are very dumb. If you have a few people in a show and they all look alike, and the audience members are saying, gee, I don't know who the bad guy is, just because he's beating that guy up, that don't make him a bad guy. So you have to let the audience know. And you see the things we do for you, audience, and you're not even grateful.
Well, I also wanted to talk about Geek Nation because a lot of people have been going out and creating their own content, and that was something that you did as well. You didn't see what you wanted out there, so you went and did what you wanted to do and created a whole new industry.
Oh, I like the sound of that.
Yes. So what is that like to take new content and put it out there and put yourself out there?
I'll show you why I'm such a sought-after TV host. It's nice.
It's good.
No, it's, if you can do anything that the public responds to, whether it's playing a villainess on Buffy, whether it's being the moderator, you might say, on the show and making it all work so beautifully, if you can do anything where you get a favorable response from an audience or from the public, there is no more gratifying feeling, because all of us want to feel liked and respected. And in case a guy like me, I have to beg for respect. I go to people, I give them money, I pat them on the shoulder, I tell them how great they are, even if I don't like them. I mean, I'll do anything to get somebody to smile at me.
As someone who comes from the studio and the network system and spending the last, decade working in that system, which is a great place to work, but there's also certain confines, and it takes a certain amount of time, and there's a certain chain of protocol that any sort of project you want to get out there has to go through. And the impetus behind Geek Nation was, hey, listen, let's create a place where we can produce our own content, write our own content, direct our stuff, and not have it take 5 years and $10 million. Let's create a situation where artistically we can come in and we can literally take a project from inception through completion and also have a platform in which to distribute it, which is GeekNation.com.
That's the
So-
wonderful thing about the web. Anybody can be a producer, an actor, whatever they want, as long as they just know how to put something together and get it out there. The internet has created so many theatrical professionals, you know, who come out of nowhere, and there's so much brilliant stuff that you can find there. And then, of course, on television itself, you still have the professional stuff, like what you do. So you're walking in two worlds,
I'm
basically.
walking in two worlds, but it's really interesting, Stan. I actually looked up the definition of television, and it means far-reaching. So you can
Far-reaching.
apply that term to the traditional, you know, box set television, or you can apply that term to any content that you're watching, be it online or in your home.
Online is
Cable.
probably as far-reaching as anything. You
Well,
put
exactly.
something out on the web, and it's all over the world.
And you can see it in, you know, a few minutes in another country.
And it's still the
Continent.
Wild West. I mean, there aren't really rules right now. Well, on that note, we have to wrap up, but I want to call in that camera one more time, so I think we should wave at him.
Why am I waving to the cameraman? Because I'm
Because we
such
like
a good
him.
waver?
Because you're such a good
Nobody
waver.
can wave like I am one of the top wavers. Excelsior! How's that for a
Hey,
wave?
that's
Huh?
it. I
Is that
think
all
that
right?
would be a nice cheers for us.
Yeah, ladies.
Excelsior!